So the new trailer for the Batman Penguin spin-off series has been released by Max, and it includes some exciting footage surrounding what's in store. We get a greater look at Gotham, Colin Farrell's Penguin, and some extended footage of characters like Cristin Milioti, Sofia, Falcone, who seem to be getting a lot of screen time alongside the main character. It's an exciting new look at the show, which promises a lot of mobster action, Sopranos and Godfather vibes, and an effective expansion of Matt Reeves Batman's saga. So in this video, I'm going to be giving you my breakdown and review for the Penguin Trailer 2, discussing what was new and what my overall thoughts were towards it. The trailer will be linked in the description of this video if you haven't seen it already. Before I get into it though, if you want to keep up to date on any of my future content surrounding the Penguin series, the Batman saga, and other upcoming DC projects, then don't forget to support this upload by giving it a like rating and subscribing to the channel. But without further ado, let's dive into the new footage surrounding the Penguin. So it's been over 2 years since Matt Reeves released his noir and moody detective take on the Batman, and while the Batman 2 is still another 2 years away, there's a different kind of spin-off or sequel just around the corner. The Max streaming series The Penguin will see Colin Farrell revive his role of Oswald Cobblepot, and it's clear that the series is very much a Batman sequel, following on directly from the devastating flood that occurred at the end of Matt Reeves' 2022 film. At its core, the story revolves around Oz's ambitious attempt to seize power following Carmine Falcone's demise, much to the discontent of the remaining Falcones. And where the Batman was essentially a detective movie, The Penguin looks set to be a proper crime show set in this version of Gotham, prioritizing character development and political intrigue over flashy comic book action. Now, we do get shots of Colin Farrell using his machine gun, Michael Kelly's Johnny Vitti being beaten up by him, and explosions in Gotham City. But most of the action seems to be in the tension between Cobblepot and others, particularly Cristin Milioti, Sofia Falcone, her brother Alberto Falcone, and Clancy Brown as gangster Salvatore Maroni, who prefer to keep their criminal activities within their own family circle. So the trailer begins in a similar way to how the previous trailers did, reminding us that Gotham was completely flooded by the Riddler in the events of the Batman. Pharrell's character says, "Look at this, what that madman did," seeming at first quite hurt by the destruction that took place to both Gotham and the Iceberg Lounge. We know from the previous trailer that there were shots outside of the Iceberg Lounge showing it as no longer submerged in water. And based on the time it takes for real-life floodings to clear, I don't think it's unrealistic for the flooding to eventually subside in a short amount of time. So that means that most of this series will likely be taking place about a week or so after the events at the end of the Batman film. The new trailer then introduces more of the developing plot in this series, following on from the death of mob boss Carmine Falcone, showing the various contenders to potentially take his place at the very top. Pharrell's unrecognisable Penguin, complete with his gold teeth and heavy prosthetics, is first seen meeting a possible contender in Salvatore Maroni, who is head of the rival mob, the Maroni crime family. He's currently situated in Arkham though, so there's less hope that he will push forward a big claim to power this early on in the series. In the cell, Oz tells Maroni that Falcone is dead, the rest of the family are licking their wounds, and that they are currently distracted. And we follow this with some shots of Carmine's children, both with his son Alberto and daughter Sofia, as seemingly competitive and as ruthless as each other. After what came out about Carmine in the Batman, as expected, we see that residents of Gotham aren't happy with the Falcone dynasty and what it stands for. So it's not just other mobsters or competitors that are out to stop the Falcones, because their image is heavily damaged to the public. We also see Sofia conducting meetings in private and hear her say that the Falcone family thinks she's broken. She says that she refuses to let them push her aside again, and she's going to take it all from them. So this could suggest that we are going to dive into what happened to Sofia Falcone while her father was in charge, and what has essentially forged her hardened attitude to the proceedings following his death. We don't get equally as much from her brother Alberto Falcone, but we do further see him confronting Penguin at his father's memorial, holding him at gunpoint and claiming that Oz wants to take his father's legacy from him. So when it comes to Penguin's competition, this new trailer really did a great job of building the threat that Oz is going to need to defeat if he is to become the next kingpin of Gotham. And this brings me on to the rest of the new trailer, which primarily focused on Penguin himself, his plan for the takeover, and the moment where both he and Sofia Falcone share a meaningful scene. We see both Farrell and his partner in crime, Renzi Feliz's Victor Aguilar, doing the dirty work, burying bodies in the forest, and planning what move to make next. Oz says that they will have to take what is theirs because no one is going to give it to them. Michael Kelly's Johnny Vitti even reminds Oz that he works for the family and that he must do as he is told. But it's later followed by Oz in a new clean white suit, violently embarking to take on what he believes is his. He tells Maroni in Arkham that he's going to tear down the Empire from the inside out. And we finish the new trailer with that moment between Oz and Sofia where she tells him that people underestimate him, but not her. And this confirms a lot because as we saw earlier on in the trailer, Sofia was showing signs that she was frustrated with the way people within her own family look down at her. And the fact that Oz, her competitor, has that in common makes the conflict between them all the more intriguing. While they are on opposite sides of the conflict, they are essentially a mirror of each other because those around them have consistently looked down on them when it comes to being the boss and having power. So like with Sofia Falcone, I think the Penguin series is going to focus on the past fragilities of Oz, his struggles in that power system, and then how he does gain power and create fear within his enemies. Like the other trailers, the new footage really builds on this idea of the different mobs and families not expecting Penguin to be that much of a problem. But with Penguin's evolution, his apparent costume change, his sadistic laugh, and his violent expressions towards the end, we know that this will probably take a big turn over the course of this series. So now that I've discussed what we saw in the new trailer for the Penguin, what are my overall thoughts towards it? Well, similar to the other small teasers released for the series already, this new one continues to sell me on the direction that Mayor of Easttown's Craig Zobel, Lauren LeFranc, and producer Matt Reeves are going in. It feels like the perfect hybrid of the Batman film universe and the tone of, say, The Sopranos and even The Godfather. While feeling like we are fully back in Matt Reeves' iteration of Gotham, I also feel like there is more of a mobster drama than that of a detective film or noir. More importantly, rather than just another installment in a popular comic book franchise, I'm getting the feeling that this could be a prestige HBO drama with solid character work and storytelling. Within, the performances we are getting seem to be driving the show and getting us deep into the characters' strengths and struggles all at the same time. For instance, in the shots we get of Colin Farrell, he seems to be doing a wonderful job with his performance, not just in showcasing more of his Penguin, but making him feel like he has a new edge. We really get a sense that he is coming into his own, that he doesn't want to be messed around, and that by coming through his struggles, he will become that next kingpin. He can be deadly at times, but also quite reserved when he's planning his next move. And while on one side it looks like Colin Farrell will crush it, I also get the sense that Cristin Milioti might be the other big highlight in the Penguin with her take on Sofia Falcone. Sofia looks unlike anything we've seen the actress do before, and she appears to be thriving in that kind of role. In her moment with Colin at the end, where her smile turns to anger in an instant, we get the feeling that she can be a somewhat greater and more complicated villain than her father ever was. She's definitely the big standout for me with this new trailer, and I can't wait to see how she evolves or what happens to her as the series progresses. Another aspect that really captured my attention was the visual look of the series, as it does seem a bit different from what we saw in the previous trailers. It looks like they've used new lenses, creating an almost hyper-realistic feel to the image and frame around the characters. I think they also used it in some scenes in the Batman, but it looks like they are using it a lot more come this show. As a whole, they've definitely managed to capture the same grittiness and look that built Matt Reeves' Gotham in the film, but again, they are still building out their own kind of identity within that, leading more into the vintage mobster-driven aesthetic. This is all I ask for of an individual project within a popular franchise, making the next installment feel a part of the world you've already built, but then expanding upon it and taking it in fascinating new directions. Essentially giving us something we haven't quite seen and trying to push the bar of the comic book genre a little bit further. It may just be me feeling a bit tired of comic book movies and TV shows, but Matt Reeves' Batman series is standing out as something truly exceptional. All the new footage suggests that each project is in good hands, with skilled creators striving to deliver top-notch content. It's clear that quality is the priority here, not just churning out more content for the sake of it, and we see that in the length of time the creatives are taking to put these projects out. If it all pays off and the hard work done on the Penguin equals to an interesting character-driven show, then this saga will only be building off more added quality. Actor Colin Farrell previously mentioned that the series would delve into Penguin's awkwardness, his villainy, his strength, and ultimately the heartbroken man inside. And although we haven't witnessed all of these aspects in the trailers yet, the snippets of his performance that we have seen give me confidence that they will thoroughly explore his character on a much deeper level. Overall, I am eagerly anticipating how Reeves and the show's producers will expand on the intricate details of Gotham City's underworld, introducing new mobs and expanding familiar families with characters like Sofia Falcone and Salvatore Maroni. And hopefully there will be some major plot twists surrounding the power struggle for control that seamlessly sets the stage for what's to come in the Batman Part 2. But that was my video discussing the brand new trailer for the Penguin series. With multiple trailers for the series looking promising, I couldn't be more excited to see how Matt Reeves' The Batman saga evolves on both the big screen and the small screen. The wait for the first spin-off series won't be long, as it has been confirmed to release on Max this September. While we do have to wait until 2026 for the Batman Part 2, it's fantastic that we have a well-developed series to keep us engaged in the meantime, one that directly connects to the major events between the films. It will be interesting to see what kind of role Colin Farrell's Penguin and maybe other characters like Sofia Falcone and Salvatore Maroni will have by the time Matt Reeves' sequel does come out, and hopefully this Penguin series can really flesh out those details in a big way. The new trailer has done an exceptional job in setting the tone and direction for the series, and I can't wait to see how it all unfolds. But what are your thoughts towards all the latest footage from the Penguin series, and does it get you excited for the future of the Batman saga? Let me know down below in the comments section. For much more videos and news on the Batman universe and DC, then subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications. Also, if you enjoyed this video, remember to leave a like rating and follow me on social media via the links in the description. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it. I've been Cortex, and as always, make some noise.